For those who don't know me, my name is Lapierre. I'm the VP at Lapierre Equipment. We're here at in Waterloo today, Waterloo, Quebec, at our plant in Waterloo. I'm here to showcase today our pneumatic maple syrup bottler. This is a 4-head model. It's available in many different configurations, from 4 to 2 heads. We also have a tiny one with only 1 head. This one is set up with an electronic timer. To me, that's just a fun gadget. The base system comes with a manual valve for up and down for the filling and unfilling the bottles. So that works very well as such. And we're set up right now. We pre-adjusted everything. We're wet in the maple syrup. And we pre-adjusted everything for those 500 milliliters bottle. It takes about 17 to 20 seconds to fill one cycle of those 4 bottles. So with 2 people working at it, so 1 people bottling and 1 people putting the caps on it and labeling it, we'll be able to make about, I would say, 1 cases every 1 minute, 20 seconds or so. So set up like that works very well. It is a no-spill system. It's available with 2 different sizes of filler valve. So the 3/8 for the tiny bottle and the 9/16 for the bigger bottle. I would say that this machine will work well up to 1 liter, 1 liter being 1 quart. You can do half-gallon jugs too, but up to 1-gallon jugs, it's kind of slow a little. And if you ask me, the best way to fill up a 1-gallon jug is using a 1/2-inch valve with an elbow and a seat. So that's the easy way to fill it up. There are a few adjustments on this machine. You can adjust the time, you can adjust the air pressure, you can adjust the height of filling into the bottle. There's a few subtle adjustments, but we're gonna talk about it more in detail in a subsequent video. So I'm just here again to showcase this product, which I think is an unknown product. Works very well. We actually built this one. This is the original one. This is my filler for our own bottling plant. When we do small batch of fancy bottle, that's the one we use, and it works so well for us that we decided to commercially make it available for you guys. So I will have a subsequent video to show and tell all the details on how you adjust this. I just want to take a few more minutes of your time to talk about the quality of maple syrup in small container. There are a few key points that needs to be respected in order to achieve good quality maple syrup in a small container, as same as a big container. First thing first, maple syrup needs to be at, well, check your local regulation, but here in Canada and most of the US, maple syrup needs to be at 66 bricks inside any container. In order to bottle it and make sure it is pasteurized well, it's got to be bottled at 185 degrees Fahrenheit as you apply the cap on it. What that means is that if my maple syrup in my system that I'm bottling, in my water jacket that I'm bottling right now, sits at 185, of course when it hits the bottle, it won't stay at 185 because the glass is room temperature, or even sometimes cold. The temperature of the maple syrup is going to drop in there. So I should have my maple syrup in my water jacket a bit higher, maybe 190 and maybe 194, depending on the size, especially glass container, because glass is very dense. The smaller the bottle, the more glass versus syrup you'll have, the more temperature you're going to lose as you fill the bottle. So these bottles are quite big. These are 500 milliliters, so it's what, half a quart. In these big bottles, I don't have that much of an issue, but we try and bottle these at right around 188, 190. In smaller container, let's say those nice tiny 100 milliliter bottle or 125, those are like what, 4 or 5 ounce, something like that. These have much more glass in there compared to the volume of maple syrup. So you're going to lose that much more temperature. So maybe those small container should be bottled at 192, 194. But make sure that before you put the cap on, you can use a thermometer to measure temperature, and it should be at 185. As soon as you fill it, as fast as you, by the way, sorry, here we have a little bit of steam in the place. We're running tests on some of our equipment while we're here. That's with those equipment that we're making that sweet maple syrup. Where was I? Oh yeah. So as soon as you fill, you need to put the cap as soon as possible, and flip the bottle upside down to make sure the syrup hits the bottom of the cap, the bottom of the lid, to pasteurize it. And not only that, you want the seal to be applied because those are mostly hot sealed. But you want the syrup to cool down upside down. A lot of people I know have trouble when they bottle a small container like that. They have mold issue on top. And they said, yeah, I was hot and the bottles were clean and everything was perfect and we still have mold. The reason is very simple. Why? If that I put it there for 1 minute, 2 minutes, what is recommended? If I flip upside again, the hot syrup is going to evaporate a little and moisture is going to create under the lid. That moisture eventually is going to drop back, by droplet will drop back into the syrup, making a thin layer of syrup which is not at 66 Brix. And that can be an issue of molding. So leaving the bottle upside down for a long, long time and then flipping it up, the moisture would have accumulated at the bottom and now it will try to rise on top and will remix evenly. So again, 195 under the lid, 66 Brix. If you're not sure about the volume of your bottle, you can weigh it, on a scale. You weigh it empty with the cap, and then you fill it up, you weigh it again with the cap, and you make sure you have enough syrup by weight, and that doubles check for your volume. So make sure you care for those, and you're gonna have good quality maple syrup in your small containers. Thank you.